Welcome back to Brain Foods for Guts. If you are joining us, you are looking for real answers to isolating challenges. Maybe you are a parent seeing food preferences shrink, or an adult in burnout noticing your gut locks up. Conventional wisdom treats them as separate, but the brain is deeply connected to your second brain, the ENS. Connected by the vagus nerve, 80% of signals actually travel from the gut upward to the head. If your gut is under stress, it triggers neural urgency, making the world feel unsafe. We will build a sensory-safe framework to find peace from the inside out. Please consult a professional for medical advice. Let's take a deep breath and dive in. I am so glad you are here. Now let's explore exactly how gut stress translates into sensory overload. We need to look at the physical structure of your intestinal lining. Think of this lining as a selective security system. In health, these tight junctions stay closed, keeping harmful bacteria and waste safely inside. But under stress, these junctions pull apart. This is leaky gut, where particles escape into your bloodstream, triggering an immune red alert. These signals cross into the brain, causing low-grade inflammation. This drops your sensory filtering, making background noises feel like sirens. Beyond sensory gating, your gut regulates focus. Beneficial microbes ferment fiber into short-chain fatty acids, primarily acetate, propionate, and butyrate. Butyrate is a powerful fuel. It protects the blood-brain barrier and keeps your neurotransmitter pathways functioning smoothly for better focus. Understanding this biology allows you to build safety from the inside out. In our next video, we'll share a practical framework for your home. Welcome back. Now that we understand the biology, let's build a practical, sensory-safe, and low-demand framework for your home and body. We start by building biological safety from the inside out. This means reducing sensory load while supporting your gut's unique needs. Prioritize a protein-first approach and ensure consistent electrolyte support to manage fatigue and maintain your internal balance. Choose foods that are gluten-free, casein-free, and multicultural friendly, focusing on what nourishes without adding inflammatory stress. Stay aware of red flags like severe pain or fainting. If these occur, please see a doctor immediately. This content is for educational purposes only. When speaking to professionals, be direct about your symptoms and ask for a functional assessment. You deserve to be heard and supported. Join our community by liking and subscribing. Share your experiences in the comments below. Let's find peace together, one step at a time. However, if an individual's microbiome becomes depleted, which can happen due to chronic stress, illness, or a limited diet, butyrate production drops. This leaves the blood-brain barrier more vulnerable, allowing systemic inflammation to disrupt the delicate pathways responsible for producing dopamine and norepinephrine. Dopamine is the primary neurotransmitter that drives motivation, focus, and our internal reward systems, the very pathways that function uniquely in ADHD and AuDHD brains. When neuroinflammation disrupts these pathways, executive dysfunction, brain fog, and task avoidance can become much more intense. Supporting focus isn't just about trying harder or modifying behaviors. It requires nourishing the beneficial microbes that help fuel your brain's processing power. Understanding this inner landscape allows us to look at one of the most common challenges, highly selective eating, often labeled as picky eating. Welcome to Brain Foods for Guts. Let's change our perspective together and heal from the inside out. Because many neurodivergent individuals process internal bodily signals uniquely, a concept known as interoception, they may not be able to pinpoint or describe this vague, ongoing discomfort. They just know that eating often leads to feeling unwell. Subconsciously, the nervous system steps in to protect the body, developing a strong preference for foods that are highly predictable and easy to process. This is why individuals often rely on what the community calls beige-safe foods, processed carbohydrates like crackers, plain pasta, white bread, and chicken nuggets. From a physiological standpoint, these foods are incredibly consistent in texture, require minimal metabolic energy to break down, and do not cause the unpredictable digestive shifts that can come from raw vegetables, complex proteins, or varied textures. Over time, this pattern creates a self-reinforcing loop. A limited diet starves beneficial, fiber-loving bacteria, allowing simple sugar-loving microbes to overgrow and send intense chemical signals demanding more of the same foods. As we look at these interconnected loops, we need to address a hidden pitfall that well-intentioned parents and individuals often encounter when trying to improve gut health. When people realize that gut imbalances can impact behavior and focus, they often naturally introduce classic healing foods like kombucha, bone broth, kefir, yogurt, and traditional fermented vegetables. While these foods can be wonderful for a neurotypical system, they can sometimes cause unexpected challenges for neurodivergent individuals due to a biological vulnerability known as histamine intolerance or mast cell activation syndrome, or MCAS. Histamine is a natural chemical compound that plays an essential role as a neurotransmitter and a driver of local immune responses. In many neurodivergent individuals, these mast cells can be hyperreactive, releasing histamines and other inflammatory chemicals in response to minor environmental changes, stress, or specific foods. At the same time, an inflamed or leaky gut often produces lower levels of diamine oxidase, or DAO, the specific enzyme responsible for breaking down histamines in our food. When a person with low DAO levels consumes high histamine items, histamine can enter the bloodstream and cross the blood-brain barrier, mimicking or worsening the symptoms of hyperactive ADHD. The first step is about reduction, but it must be done in a low-demand way. Focus on silently upgrading the ingredients you already use. Swap out refined cooking oils that contain high levels of pro-inflammatory omega-6 fatty acids for stable, soothing options like pure extra virgin olive oil, avocado oil, or grass-fed ghee. These gentle fats provide vital support to cell membranes without triggering an inflammatory immune response. Next, instead of relying on high histamine fermented foods, support your beneficial butyrate-producing bacteria using gentle, low histamine prebiotic fibers. Great choices include stewed apples, cooked with a touch of cinnamon or cold, cooked potatoes, and white rice, which are rich in resistant starch. Resistant starch acts as a gentle, non-irritating fuel source for your microbiome, boosting butyrate production without releasing inflammatory histamines. Step 3 is to support the gut barrier with micronutrients. To help soothe and rebuild a leaky gut lining, look to specific non-flavored micronutrients like pure L-glutamine powder and bioavailable zinc, such as zinc carnosine. These can be easily mixed into preferred liquids or safe foods without altering their texture or taste to help support the structural integrity of tight junctions. The final step focuses on the physical environment around meals. Because the vagus nerve requires a sense of safety to activate our rest and digest pathways, meal times should be as low demand as possible. Move away from food battles or rigid clean plate rules. Allow your child to use comforting seating or engage in quiet stimming behaviors while eating. By creating a calm environment, you show the enteric nervous system that it is safe to relax, digest, and absorb the nutrients needed to heal. As we bring our journey together to a close, remember, you are not doing this wrong and your body is not broken. Your family's struggles are validated by real biology. Be gentle with your body and your progress. Choose just one small, manageable change today and observe how your system responds. Thank you so much for watching Brain Foods for Guts.